What I want to do is I'm going to go with 5 levels of belief. That is something that I've been teaching for, oh gosh, 30 years probably. The reason why that I want to go over these is because it will help you see how belief is integrated, belief works, and most importantly, I want to kind of give you an idea of how to build your belief. Now, when I first got started in this profession, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't believing in myself very much, and a lot of people knew that. But thank God for Ben, because Ben sat me down one day and he says, Douglas, I know that you're having trouble believing that you can do this. And he said, that's fine, but lean on my belief while we're building yours. And I don't care whether you're in real estate, I don't care whether you're in insurance, stock brokerage, it doesn't matter. If you have some type of a mentor, supervisor, manager, something, lean on their belief in you while you are building yours. Because that's one of the most powerful things you can do is concerning belief, concerning moving forward in any endeavor, because you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can do this. Now, these 5 levels of belief are critical for success. And I can tell you right now that how many times I've taught this, I don't even know. But every single time it worked because people said it makes so much sense. And this is one of the reasons why that it deals with possibilities. And it deals with your connection to that possibility. Did you get that? Because in business, marketplace, if you're an entrepreneur, you've got to be connected to possibilities, and you have to drive the possibilities in order to really, truly build something. You know that, and I know that. But the belief in the possibilities and that connection to that belief is what really keeps it on fire and going even during the tough times. And this 5 levels, I'm telling you, will help you out tremendously because it will show you where you need work. Number 1 is possible. The lowest level of belief, it's possible. It could happen, but it could not as well. And this is why that a lot of people, they live here. They live in the land of possibility, but it could go either way. It's possible to work, it's possible not to work, and you can't build wealth in a business and any type of success thinking that level. I remember talking to Ben, and I made a comment. I said, look, it's possible it could work, but it's also possible that it couldn't work for him. And he says that possibility doesn't exist. You have to get that out of your mind, period. You must get it out of your mind. That possibility that it could not work doesn't exist for those that are focused and are moving towards something of an extraordinary destination. That's why that if you think that it's possible that it could work, but it's also possible it could not work, you need to get beyond that, because if you're, as long as you're thinking, well, it couldn't work either, then that's an anchor on where you're going, and you're going to drag that with you every thought, every step, every conversation, every action you take, no matter whether you're in retail sales, real estate, insurance, or anything else. The lowest level is possible. Of course, anything's possible if you want to look at it that way. It's possible it could work, but it's possible that I could fail. That possibility of failure cannot exist. Anybody that I've ever met who's become a millionaire, billionaire, anything else, they didn't even consider that possibility that it wasn't going to work. They just had to figure out how to make it work and then make it work. So the lowest level of belief in entrepreneurship and in building something going towards an extraordinary destination is possible. It's possible it could work. It's possible it couldn't work. Possible I could work. I'm not quite sure if I can really. It's possible I could do it, I guess. That can't be part of any conversation from this point forward. You've got to get rid of that. The second level is moving from possible to probable. Probable is more than likely it will happen. And what I mean by that, there's a better chance of it happening than not, even though you're still given that exit ramp, if you will, of, well, it couldn't work. There's a better, bigger, bolder, more powerful chance of it working. That's what probable is. It'll probably work. That means that there's at least a better chance of it working than not working. It's a better chance of getting the sale than not getting the sale. There's a better chance of success than failure. There's a better chance of winning than losing. And when you move into that probable zone, things do get better, because now you're looking more towards a win, more towards a victory, more towards a marketing sale or volume or revenues versus not. And that's an improvement. Don't get me wrong. But it's not where you want to be if you really truly want to build wealth. And that's why that probable is great. It could probably work, but there's still that possibility of it won't work, even though the probability of it working is greater than that. You can't sit there. You can't stay there. You got to grow past that. You got to grow from possible to probable. And the next level is convinced. Convinced is it's going to happen. And convinced is part of a Latin root word, if you will, that means to conquer, that means to overcome. And when you are convinced beyond belief, you're convinced that something's going to work, that means that you have already overcome the doubt, you've already overcome the negative thinking, you've already overcome negative people, and you have brought forth such a conviction that it's going to happen. This is where that you're going to see things like sales and volume and various other things like that start to happen, because conviction and being convinced about something is one of the most magnetic things that exist. When people know you have the confidence and the conviction to make something happen, they will follow you. They will do business with you because they like how it feels. And when you're convinced, that also means that you have overcome anything that could possibly take you out of the game. You've overcome anything that could possibly take you away from that, because you're convinced, I'm going to reach this extraordinary destination. I'm going to sell this house. I'm going to get this policy. I'm going to do whatever it takes because I'm convinced this works. I'm convinced I can do it. And I'm convinced this is going to be big. And see, that conviction, when you walk through a door, when you're on a Zoom, people can feel that. People can feel the conviction. They can feel that you're absolutely convinced it's going to work. And that is appealing to people to want to do business with you. And that's why this level of belief is where minimum you should be. Because pretty much convinced means there's no possibility that it's not going to work. It means it's going to work. I'm convinced it's going to work. I don't know when it's going to work, but I'm convinced it's going to work. And that's critical, because when you reach that level, then things start really starting to turn around for you. So you got possible, you got probable, you got convinced. Now you have passion. Passion says it must happen. Convinced is going to happen. But passion is it must happen. This is where you're passionate about what you're doing. The emotion, the fire, the drive, the actions, the belief, the decision, everything that goes into a passionate action, a passionate focus is there. This level of belief is where that it's not good enough that it's going to happen. This is where it must happen. It must happen at a certain time or certain place or certain day or whatever, but it must happen. And that level of belief is where most millionaires are. They're at that place where no matter what they do, it must happen. No matter what they engage, what action they engage, it must happen. And because of that, it changes the brain. It changes the subconscious. It changes all of the wiring in their brain to where the brain now no longer tries to delay. The brain no longer tries to keep you safe. What it says, if it must happen, then let's make it happen. And this is why that this level of belief in any entrepreneur venture is critical, because if you can get to that passion level where it must happen, I'm telling you what, you're going to have some fun. You're going to make some money, but most importantly, watch how you grow. So you got possible, you got probable, you got convinced, you got passion. What is the top level of belief? That connection to that belief that is so powerful that literally it's like a furnace on the inside of you, a blast furnace stealing you on the inside. What is that? Obsession. Where passion, it must happen. Obsession is it's already happened. I just got to take care of the details. When somebody's obsessed and such a belief in something that they got to go out and accomplish it, achieve it, do whatever, when they have an obsession, it's already happened in their own mind. Oh, it's already happened. I just have to go take care of the details in the physical realm, because passion is it must happen on the outside. Obsession is it's already happened on the inside. So I'm going to make sure that I get it done on the outside quickly. Obsession is part of that steeled furnace fire that is inside of you that can drive you and can do all the different things that people thinks crazy. I got people thinking I'm crazy. I've talked about you. Some people think I'm nuts. And the reason why is because I'm so passionate. And I'm so obsessed with helping people build businesses, build 7-figure incomes. That is, I don't know. I'm just obsessed with it because I believe God has me doing this to help people and help the body of Christ. So you got possible, probable, convinced, passion, and obsession. Possible could happen. Probable, more than likely will happen. Convinced, oh, it's going to happen. Passion, it must happen. Obsession, it's already happened. These are where people are. And sometimes you can fluctuate up and down depending upon the circumstance, depending upon the day, depending upon what environment you're in. But you must stay somewhere between passion and, well, let's at least be a convinced. Somewhere between convinced, passion, and obsession, somewhere in that neighborhood. And you, if you're in that place and you're in that level of belief in what you're doing, man, your business this year is going to absolutely rock. 3, 4, and 5 are the sweet spot. And if you really truly want to build something of magnificence and something extraordinary, you need to stay in that lane, stay where convinced is, move up to passion, and occasionally hit that obsession level. I'm telling you, your business will never fluctuate. It will always be increasing because you will not allow it to stay the same. Obsession and passion, the belief levels there, will light any fire, any marketplace, any business to full burn. Guys, I would like for you to join the Fire family. I've got a newsletter out. I got a soon-to-be podcast. There's lots of things we're doing that we're even going to have a community, if you will, and we're putting that together now. But I'd like for you to become part of the Fire family. Join the newsletter and like, follow, share, and subscribe to this, because in this place, we're going to be doing some crazy things. We're going to be going over information you've never seen before, because this is from 30-some years of prolific writing, and we're going to be going over it, but in today's language, today's approach, including AI and all the rest of the stuff. But it's going to be focused on one thing: getting you to that place where extraordinary destination and becoming extraordinary and being extraordinary is your jam. With that, like, follow, share, subscribe, spread the fire.